Hi, my name is Teresa Coleman and I am a student at Jacksonville University. My presentation is going to discuss human trafficking and the organization Created Gainesville. Many people would be surprised to know that their small community has a problem with human trafficking. Created Gainesville is an organization that reaches women affected by sexual exploitation and sex trafficking in the local greater area of Gainesville. In 2007, Created Tampa was formed in Tampa, Florida, as a ministry to reach women in the sexual industry. In 2012, Created Gainesville was formed after Allison sat in a church service and heard a sexual trafficking survivor's story. She started an outreach program to go to the streets, the strip clubs, jails, and rehabs to find out what these women needed. From those encounters, in 2015, Created Care was formed. This ministry helped provide job and life skill development, budgeting, mentoring, group meetings, trauma and addiction counseling, and even medical, dental, and vision care. They also strive to provide educational assistance. In 2017, the organization received its Certified Independent 501c3 nonprofit organization standing. This slide shows the areas that Created Gainesville covers. This is the Created Gainesville team for 2019. Allison is the founder and executive director. Allison, Emily, and Sedana are all full-time employees. Laura is part-time. On the bottom, you can see 3 intern spotlights who are serving now for the 2019 fall semester. The following Florida statistics are provided. Florida ranks 3rd highest in the nation on reported sex trafficking cases. There were 1,885 contacts. There were 767 human trafficking cases reported. Victims and survivors identified with high indicators were 1,098. Moderate indicators 1,468, and calls received from victims or survivors was 591. National statistics for the United States say that 300,000 children are lured into the sex trade industry yearly. 14,500 to 17,500 annually estimated affected by human trafficking in the U.S., of which 80% are women and children. 41,088 contacts were made. 51,919 human trafficking cases are reported since December 2007. Polaris is a nonprofit organization viewed as a global leader in the movement to end modern-day slavery of human trafficking. It is named after the North Star, which is to guide slaves to freedom in the United States. It uses its leverage with data and technology to find traffickers and bring them to justice. It also educates the public on human trafficking. Of these statistics, 4.8 million globally are estimated to be forced into sexual exploitation. The monitoring of program operations is done by Emily Campbell, who is a full-time employee and the operations manager. It is also overseen by the board of directors. However, the board of directors are volunteers. They meet on a monthly basis and on an emergency basis only. Created Gainesville's mission is to reach and restore lives of women. Their vision is to end the sexual exploitation and sex trafficking of women by stopping the demand, by reaching those exploited, by restoring the lives of women, and to reduce the supply available. Their values are hope for women to experience freedom, wholeness, and new life, empowerment to equip women with the tools needed for independence and sustainability, ownership for them to realize their situation and move forward towards resolution, collaboration to work together and not alone, community to recognize unity and celebrate diversity, and legacy to break the cycle of poverty and exploitation for future generations. Since 2017, 900 women have been reached, 150 awareness presentations done, 10 prevention classes taught. Through a strategic analysis, they identified internal weaknesses to be funding issues for staff, lack of residential program, a high volunteer turnover rate, the inability to provide accurate statistics and data that are up to date. The identified external threats include community lack of awareness, the cost for trauma-informed services, and the challenges in measuring impact of programs. Outcomes for program sustainability for Created Gainesville depends heavily on having mentors. Created Tampa is their parent organization, and that's what they modeled their program after. Sea Love Freedom is a national organization that they are aligning with to model their future residential plans. And Wellspring Living is another partner organization. It's a nonprofit in Georgia, and they are using them to model their trauma-informed care after. And they're also usually using information from them to assist with the future residential program as well. For program sustainability, Centered Gainesville has to partner with multiple organizations throughout the community of Gainesville, the state, and the nation. This slide represents just a few of those partnerships. For program sustainability, they offer internships for local college students. These include semester-long, full-time, part-time, undergraduate, and graduate opportunities. They also offer course requirement fulfillments that colleges require. They have clear application deadlines. They offer opportunities with case management, grant writing, marketing, nonprofit administration, and youth prevention. They rely heavily on volunteers throughout the area. They have an application process with clear time commitments. They offer training videos and resources to include books, articles, and documentaries. They also offer opportunities for sponsorship for their outreach ministries. These ministries include going to the streets, their clubs where they give gifts to women, and the Oasis provides meals for dinners, worship, and Bible studies. They also have opportunities for service projects. Accountability and resources include a financial strategy. They have a strategy for 2019, 2020, and 2021. For 2019, they have a campaign that's Be the 100 Monthly Giving Campaign. In this campaign, they provide an example of the monthly cost for restorative care for one woman, which is $1,605. Their strategy includes trying to get monthly donors, partners, and provide fundraisers. For 2019, as of October, they had 61 monthly partners. The goals for Created Gainesville for 2019 to 2021 related to accountability and resources includes becoming reputable and financially strong, self-sustaining, and to provide effective programs to provide an educational shift in public awareness. The board members continue to oversee the budget and the program structure and the sustainability of the program. And this is just an example of a ministry partner in the area. City Church in Gainesville partners with Created Gainesville, and one of the board members is actually the pastor. And the church has volunteered to provide goods and volunteers. And there are several churches in the area that actually do this. A strategic analysis of internal strengths showed that the board members are experienced, diverse, and dedicated. According to GuideStar, the board member occupations include a CPA, a CFO, a pastor, a lawyer, an independent associate, sales, and a CEO. A strategic analysis for revising program interventions revealed that there is a need for a residential program, that there are exclusions to certain fundraising due to faith-based beliefs. There is a need for a part-time fundraiser and grant writer to be hired by 2020, and that there is a lack of public awareness of a problem. The opportunities include unique fundraising ideas, partnering with the 2 member mentorships to model for residential programs, to utilize connections with college students for internships, to update the website with events, to advertise in the local community, to build relationships and connections, and to continue a social media presence on Facebook. Centered Gainesville provides information about its organization through its website. If you click on the site, you can easily identify who they are, what they do, volunteer opportunities, how to give, and how to purchase merchandise. There's an event calendar and a request form for speakers. The site is not intended for victims of human trafficking. Instead, they give their business cards to them as they meet them on the streets. They provide lots of information through their Facebook page. They also go to local churches and provide flyers and information. This is an example of a podcast from one of the local churches. They also have been featured in news stories. According to GuideStar, there are no unintended effects related to board leadership practices. According to Center Gainesville, there are no unintended effects to report for the organization. If there were, they were handled on a case-by-case basis. There are no public records related to unintended effects. Through the strategic analysis, they continue to identify external threats to be faith-based values and certain funding issues, and the other is physical safety of all program participants. There are no accreditation requirements for this organization as they are a faith-based nonprofit organization. They do have to meet certain standards that are set by the IRS, which include organized and operated for exempt purposes only, and that none of their earnings could go to a private shareholder, and they cannot influence legislation, and they must be a charitable organization. On this slide, you can click on a link to a survivor story featured on Created Gainesville's website. They also provide an additional story about sex trafficking. And the last link is to a news story that was featured in Gainesville. Thank you very much for viewing my presentation, and I hope you found it informative.